Green Lantern Corps, issue 4, legacy number 107, Morgan Hampton and Jeremy Adams writing, with Amanke Nuhilpin and V Kenneth Marion on the art. So this book is kind of a standalone issue. There is a little bit of a tie to the oh god, what's his name? The vampire dude.
The
Starbreaker. Starheart?
Starbreaker.
Starbreaker.
Starheart.
Starheart.
You know, I'm gonna click on the title where they give all the characters, and we're gonna go off of that.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea.
Anyways, we know him as a star vampire. Right?
Star vampire. Right. So it does.
Starbreaker, but then we get Evil Star, and I was like, can we, guys?
Yeah, Evil Star.
60s, 70s writers, could we not come up with anything that didn't have Star in it? Like,
yeah.
To name these guys?
More than that in a bit. But this issue breaks down into 2 plots. One is that Jessica tells Guy he has to take out one of the new recruits for some field experience, which he's not very happy about. Kilowog thinks the little guy's useless as well, but this little alien like furry dude is a new recruit who's he's very scared. He's very timid.
His name is it Snarf? Or am I filling that in? Because he's like Snarf. He looks like kind of like Snarf from Thundercats. People are familiar with that. He's like this little lion-looking dude. He's trying his best, man. I thought Guy and look, I love Guy and I love Kilowog and I understand their tough love. I felt they were a little bit mean to this dude.
Yeah.
Like, cut him a little bit of a break. He was clearly chosen by the ring, right? So there's some potential there.
Well, no, he wasn't, Matt.
Wait, no?
No.
He's one of the ones that it just manifested, right?
No. Matt,
okay.
Remember, the Green Lantern Corps are now recruiting now. The rings aren't finding them anymore. Right. They're just, like, bringing people in.
Right, but doesn't he have to manifest something so they know that he can do it, right?
I mean,
that's what I was understanding.
I mean, they've not specified that. All we know is that John, as in John Stewart, said that he had a talent, right? And that's the one thing they bring up. So John Stewart recruited him for the Corps. That's what we know, right? So it's not the rings finding them anymore like the old days. I mean, are all the recruits manifesting stuff, or are they just been given rings? I'm not sure. Obviously, some of the ones that we've seen be recruited in this book have been the case with that, but I don't know. They've not shown us that yet. He certainly doesn't manifest anything in this issue, so I don't know if he's able to do that yet.
No, he does, except for sheer terror.
Yes.
That boy is scared.
So that's plot number 1. Plot number 2 is that Kelly needs a device, a doohickey, a psionic battery for whatever she's working on. And she goes to Baz for some help, who is working on his... He's basically made a construct of his car from back on Earth and is working on it as if it's a real car because he cares that much about it. He's basically just built a fantasy version of it. So she wants to do that, and she mentions it was her birthday, and he's like, wait, what age are you now? And she's like 12, and he's like, but you're called Teen Lantern.
Yeah.
I did get a laugh out of that.
Teen Lantern's not even a teen. Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, and Helly's there as well, of course.
She could have easily been Kid Lantern, right? You know, but we went with Teen Lantern, so yeah, that was very funny.
Teen Lantern sounds better. I know why they picked it. It's just they could have just made her. They could have made her 13 just so that it made sense. But here we are. So Helly's there as well, the construct of John's sister, and they go on a trip to somewhere where they might be able to buy one of these batteries that she needs. So that's our B plot, right? So we get two plots involving a collection of different Green Lantern characters. And what's kind of nice is that these are the characters that haven't been as featured yet in this book. It's only issue 4 to be fair, so it's not like they've been, taking tons of time. But we've focused on John Stewart, we've focused on Sinestro a little bit, and like some other things. So this was like, hey, we're going to get a plot with Baz and Kelly and Helly, and we're going to get a plot with Guy and this new recruit. So I really like this just from a focus perspective of like, hey, we can do a little story here with these other lanterns that aren't getting used as much. And that's kind of cool. It also builds the idea that Kelly and Baz have kind of a friendship now is kind of cool as well. He's doing the uncle thing a little bit, Yep. So, fun. So yeah, they go to like a space station that's built out of a dead star, to be precise.
It's very Guardians of the Galaxy when they go to the Celestial. I forget the name of that place. But yeah, it's like a space station in the husk of a dead star, which is kind of cool.
And they go to like a broker, like black market type dude, and they're like, "Hey, you got one of these batteries?" And he's like, "Oh, I can't admit what I've got. You're going to take me in." And Baz is basically like, to be fair, like Baz is kind of abusing his power here. He's like, "Hey, sell us the battery we need, and I will overlook all of the illegal goods." It's like, all right, corruption here, Baz. Come on, that's
Here's my thing. I think he's just being a good law enforcement guy because he's like, look, man, I could bring you in, but let's just save us some time, and we're here to conduct real business.
Yeah. But I laughed.
I know.
I laughed though, because one of the very next scenes is Guy also abusing his power by basically trying to threaten people to get in somewhere, and I'm like, you know what? These two are by far the worst in terms of like being shitty cops out of the whole crew.
ACAB also includes Green Lanterns.
Apparently, at least these two anyway.
Yeah,
that's it. I did enjoy the furry Green Lantern being scared. Like, there's a very like, I don't know, like, what's the word I'm like? I'm not saying the art is more cartoony, but there's a very cartoon-like quality to the type of character he is.
Yeah, he looks like a Saturday morning cartoon character.
He does, yeah.
And when you put him against Guy looks like Guy. You know, it's typical what you would expect Guy to look like. So the contrast is hilarious. Because he looks like Guy brought a stuffed animal to life. And he's going along with him. But he looks so scared. I'll give Nahilpin so much credit for the body language here with our buddy Narf. Because he looks so unconfident in every single panel. I love it. So I think when we see why he can be a Green Lantern, why John Stewart chose him, I think it's going to feel like a really good moment.
Yeah, it is interesting because obviously the two stories are the two different artists. And I didn't feel too much whiplash going from one to the other. I can definitely see it when I'm looking for it, but yeah. Anyway,
so I might have given that to the wrong artist.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't actually know which one's which, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
I can't tell. I don't know either of the art well enough to just spot it with eye.
Yeah, because Nahilpin is very typical house style. So maybe that is the Kelly and Simon stuff, and then the other guy. But credit to whoever it is.
Yeah.
V KEN MARION is the other guy.
Yeah, so the guys there to see Evil Star to look for a lead to get to Starbreaker. So yeah, too many Star characters. So that's what he's there for. And then meanwhile, Kelly and Baz get tricked. The thing that the guy hands them isn't actually a battery, it's like a flashbang that knocks them both out. And he's trying to take off Kelly's glove because he sees it as something valuable. And it's not working. Like, he's trying to like go at it with like a screwdriver and like a drill, and like nothing's making it come off. However, Helly was left outside in the car construct, and she's starting to like sense that something's not right. That like, Kelly's life signs have went kind of flat. Not dead, obviously, but like, you know, they're not active in the same way. So she's starting to wonder if she should go in. Evil Star starts trying to shoot Guy, but he's got a shield up, so it's, you know, not a big deal. Although he does end up hitting him with this giant ray gun, which in a 2-page spread, like, Guy and the furry dude are fine in the bubble, but the bubble gets fired out of the place like a big like bowling ball or something, right? It like it's hit back, so they go flying in the ball, the construct, while it seems like whatever the black market like alien dude did, it's I want to say it's a Black Mercy thing per se, because it's not a happy thing, but Baz kind of thinks that he's back in an interrogation room in a police station, which obviously links back to his origin story back in the day. And Helly shows up, the construct of Helly, and says, "Hey, this is really me, but we're in your head. Like, I've been able to reach you this way to talk to you. So what's going on here?" And he's like, "Oh, I remember this. This is like, you know, my tragic past." And they go through a door, and like, you know, they talk about this a little bit. But when they go through the door, the end of the issue shows what Kelly's seeing in her head. And at the very least, like, is it really what happened, or is it like a dark version of what happened? Is it like alternate to make it look bad? but like she's standing in a junkyard above an alien who's crash landed, seemingly a little bit like Abin Sur, and he's saying you have to destroy the glove before it destroys everything. And she's saying, no, that's not how it happened. This isn't right, and that's where the book ends. So, I don't know if maybe like this memory's been altered to try and convince her to let go of the glove. Like maybe that's what the goal is, because this alien really wants it. But it does say next we get the origin of Teen Lantern, which we somehow never got when Bendis introduced her. We never got the origin. So
she just showed up.
So that's cool, because I like her as a character. So I'm down to get more like concrete backstory on her.
Since there was that shift in Green Lantern, I have liked that they seem to make Kelly seem like this, not just super important character, but like the way that she was sidelined when the Rogue Green Lantern Corps was going, right? Because her power was a little bit too dangerous and out of control of I forget Theron, whatever, that guy. So, and then here again, like them wanting the glove and going through this mind maze, it also makes her it gives her like this element of like, no, she really is special, right? It's not just that she found this glove, and there are elements to her that almost like the green energy calls out to, which is cool, which I appreciate, because she's a new character that we never got the origin for, and she's kind of a blank slate. So I do appreciate that. I just drew a blank on Jeremy Adams' co-writer, Morgan Hampton. Jeremy Adams and Morgan Hampton are seeming to take the advantage of that. Like, it's a blank slate. We can tell a very compelling story. And just this whole concept of the mind maze, like how do they get out? That's kind of perfect for like a 2-3 issue. Not run, but arc. There we go.
Yeah. I think the chemistry between these characters is pretty good, and it's nice to. I think they're all benefiting from this time together. Baz, Kelly, and Helly. Like having Helly away from the John stuff, I think makes her a little bit more weird and interesting, which is kind of cool. Yeah. Baz has not had a lot of focus recently, so this is kind of nice for him. And then Kelly's getting a bit more fleshed out in the origin story. Yeah, I think this is good on all sides of like developing these characters and making it feel like we've got an ensemble cast we can kind of like shuffle around and spend time with whoever. Also, I loved at the start, obviously Jessica's my favorite Green Lantern. I did love her just like shooting Guy down and saying, no, do what you're told. That was very enjoyable. Well,
Yes, but I also love it because that's their dynamic now, is that she's on the other side, right? Because Guy trained her, in those things. So they have that where she can tell Guy, no, do what I say, and go off. I do like that she's assumed kind of the Salic role, right? It's kind of dispatch and, ordering things out. She's the liaison. So that's a good spot for her. I hope we get to see her in the field, though, because I do like Jess a lot, just to not have her on desk duty. But it fits her well.
Yeah, it would be nice to see her still get a chance to go out and be in a story a bit more. But like, yeah, it is nice that she's in a position where we get to see her kind of frequently, which is cool. So, all right, and the art's pretty solid, like as we kind of pointed out throughout. So, Matt, what are you giving Green Lantern Corps?
I'm gonna give just a straight 7.
Oh, I think I'm going higher than that. I think I really like the. It's not like an amazing story per se, but I really like this as like an issue of an ongoing run that feels like it's fleshing out our like ensemble cast. Like I was kind of into this, so I'm going with just a nice, comfortable 8 for me. I had a good time.